Hi folks, so I've been doing a little bit of preparatory work on this case I want to turn into a gaming case, and I think I just want to really show you what I'm thinking of doing with it. I've marked out where I'm going to cut the side window, nothing particularly innovative or new or different about that really. I just like a side window in a case. I've also marked out on the front here, I've got a couple of goes marking out where I'm actually going to cut open this front panel. I'll show you why I'm going to do that in a minute. Let's just turn this round, pull off the side panel. There we go. Here we are. As you can see, everything stripped out, which has given me an opportunity to just kind of see what's going on. So, as I said, one of the things I felt it was important to do in here was to create space for a full-size graphics card. The problem we've got at the moment is, you see, it's not going to happen because this gets in the way. But I also thought as well it would be important to create the opportunity to do some water cooling as well. So I felt at the very least you'd need to be able to get a 240 RAD in here. Now I don't have a full-size graphics card or a 240 RAD, so I'm having to kind of make some intelligent guesses, if you like. I might just have to borrow or buy some stuff at some point. Okay, so this means that we've really got to do some work here. My initial thought was just to cut out around here to accommodate a bigger graphics card, and perhaps to cut out here. If I just flip this back over, it's possible to get two 120mm fans in there, as you can see. Turn it around a little bit. In fact, let's see if we can get some light on in here. There we go. It's a little bit better. So you can get two 120mm fans in the bottom, but it doesn't leave a lot of space for a rad. You've got the feet here. You might get a rad in there, you might not, which meant probably have to cut all of that, well, the full height of it, maybe cut about an inch off. Then I thought, well, even if you do that, you're going to lose the ability to put a full ATX motherboard in, which again, if you're using it as a gaming machine, you might want to do. So that has caused me a few headaches. So I thought, well, the best way to do it would be to mount it in the front here. That might be where you'd want to put a 240 RAD. And obviously in a case like an Antec 900 or a 1200 or something like that, perhaps a bit easier to do. This isn't really set up for that. So what I'm going to do is we are going to cut this down. So we just use the top two bays. So we've got space for one optical drive, and probably we'd have to use the one below it for a hard drive, and then we're going to remove the rest of it. Possibly we might leave one or two of these and just basically put a piece across the top there, so that you can have some hard drive or two at the bottom, which may mean we'll then just leave one optical drive bay. I'm not too sure, but certainly we're going to be removing most of this, so we will either basically do some work with the bits we've already got, so it might be a case of moving this, taking this out and putting it up there, or I might have a look in some of my older cases and see if I've got something I can kind of use, or I might just have to make something. Either way, that's going to be a fair bit of work. If we actually look at the front here, you can see we can get quite comfortably two 120mm fans, which means we can pull that down a little bit. Just have that there. There we go. We've got a little bit more space there, but we need to cut all this out so that you can get those in and they'll still be reasonably flush with the front. So then we'll probably have to put some kind of mesh or a metal panel. I might put a metal panel in and cut out the holes for the fans, a bit like Fuzzy Bunny Booties did with his Antec case. So if you want to get an idea of what I'm thinking of, do check out his Antec mod videos. So that also means if I can pop this off, very difficult to do one-handed, very difficult to do two-handed, never mind one-handed, I might have to pop the video down. Yeah, I'm just going to pop the camera down a sec, pull this front panel off and then see what we're going to have to do with the case underneath. There we go, so I've got the front panel off. So I've just kind of marked out, initially I was going to cut across here, but that's going to have to come right down here now, cut across here. So basically these will unscrew anyway, so that's fine, but then we're going to have to cut out all of this, okay, so that we've got somewhere where we can mount the rad. So the idea would be, obviously we're removing most of this where the rad's going to be anyway, so the rad's going to come in here about that much, and then your fans are going to sit on the front, so the fans will be hidden by the front bezel, and then the rad will just fit in there. So the only concern might be what that will do for the structure of the case. I won't really know until I take the thing apart, so we might have to put some supports in or something somewhere. Not too sure. What I probably will do as well, I've kind of looked online. The thing with the rads is there's no common size, so I'm just going to have to try and work on what the average size is and leave enough space for it, to be honest. In terms of a mounting system for it, it should be easy enough to come up with something. It may well be that if we can get it so that the fans will mount, the rad will mount as well, but we may be able to put some clips in that you can screw the rad onto if you want to. So I'll have to have a think about that. Certainly some interesting problems to solve. I'm also a little bit concerned about cable management. You see, this hole's good, but because, as you can see, it kind of beveled out, it means you can't run anything behind there. So what I might do is just cut out that bevel completely. Similarly with this, up here as well, just so we can run cables behind it. There won't be a lot of space, but it's better than nothing. This is not so bad because it's bent in, but as you know, I'm going to probably, well, actually no, I won't be cutting that bit out because this is part of the motherboard tray. So, but because this is beveled inwards, it does give you a space to store cables, which might be quite useful. And then of course you've got this little area around here, which is not bad, but it's just not a gaming case to start with, which is, I guess, the challenge of the project really, is to turn something which is pretty much a bog standard ATX case from, you know, 7 or 8 years ago. This would have been a cool case at the time probably, and now turn it into something which would be cool for now. So colour scheme probably going to be red and black, I think, just because it's nice and rich, I think, so it should look pretty good in red and black. That's the idea anyway. You know when I'm like with colour schemes, I'll probably change my mind. So, but anyway, that's my thoughts on this project. Wasn't what I was thinking of doing. I've still got my home theatre PC project is still very much live. I'm just hopefully going to get hold of some bits in the next week or so, which will allow me to make a start on that as well. My main PC, well, that's kind of been put on ice for the time being. I'll just leave that as it is, carry on working with it, because it's still a good case, does the job for me. So that's about it, really. My test bench, haven't done anything with that at all. So there we go. Too many projects. But anyway, hope you've enjoyed kind of just seeing my plans for this one. That's what's in my thoughts at the moment. Once I get going with it, who knows what's going to happen. But thanks for watching.